Sorry for the late. And Canto 7, chapter 4.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you're not visible, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm
Okay.
just setting up everything. Okay. From verse number 22, and that's where we stopped, and it's important also. That's why. But I think I've already said from here the prayers are very, very important. And yes, you will see me now. Okay. And let's go together. So, yes. तस्यै नमोऽस्तु काष्ठायै यत्रात्मा हरिरीश्वरः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते शान्तः सन्न्यासिनो अमलाः इति ते सम्यात्मनः समाहितधियो अमलाः उपतस्थुर्ऋषिकेशं विनिद्रावायुभोजनाः. So here it is said, let us offer our respectful obeisance unto that direction where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated, where those purified souls in the renounced order of life, great saints, great saintly persons go, and from which, having gone, they never return. Without sleep, fully controlling their minds, the living on the only living on only their breath. The predominating deities of various planets began worshipping Rishikesha with this meditation. So, this particular verses are so informative. This is saying in this way, the predominating deities are praying to the Lord. He's saying, okay, the Lord, he's saying, unto that direction where the Supreme Lord is situated. In the purport, Prabhupada says, Tasya Kashtayai are very significant. Everywhere in every direction, in every heart, and in every atom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in his feature as Brahman and Paramatma. Then what is the purpose of saying Tasyai Kashtaye? In that direction where Hari is situated. This is the question. During Hiranyakashipu's time, his influence was everywhere, but he could not force his influence into the places where the Supreme Personality of Godhead had his pastimes. Huh? For example, on this earth, there are such places as Vrindavan, Ayodhya, which are called dhams. In the dham, there is no influence from Kali Yuga or any demon. If one takes shelter of such a dhama, worship of the Lord becomes very easy and resultant spiritual advancement quickly takes place. In fact, in India, one may still go to Vrindavan and similar places to achieve the results of spiritual activities quickly. So, on one way it's logical and on another way it's spiritual. In both ways we can understand. Logical because usually we are inspired to do those things where we are inspired by seeing, by hearing. So if we see someone is smoking, we may think, oh, it's so cool because there's so much art of smoking, art of living, art of sleeping. People will say art of smoking. In fact, I heard some um, alliances where the girl has said, I choose this guy as my husband because he smokes cool. It looks very cool. Yeah. So some whatever. Anyway, so if one is passionate of making money, one will see that and will always work towards that. If one is running behind honey, then there are others who follow. So in this way, we are more inspired by examples. But if we look to and live to wrong examples, then we end up in failure. Rather, if we see those role models who have led their life, dedicated their life, sacrificed their life in one and only one, which is serving the Lord. Being in those places, we get more inspiration. Seeing, oh, see, amazing. I still remember when I think it was second time when I went to Vrindavan. Then I was taken to Uddhava Kund. Not Uddhava Kund. It is just next to Kusum Sarovar. There is Uddhava temple. No, there lives a foreigner uh, who comes and makes sure the whole place doesn't has even a small leaf, and that too he doesn't use a sweep, what do you call this, broom, but he cleans the whole area walking on his knees. Yeah, he doesn't even stamp with his feet while he's walking to remove whatever debris or the leaves that fall from the trees or the monkeys make mess. He does everything by walking. And now we can understand, wow, what a devotee he is. He has dedicated. So when we go and see such people who are crazy in their bhakti, in their devotion to the Lord, we feel inspired. Then we are not hesitant. We are not, what do you call this? um, Feeling shy. No, we see, hey, we want to be in that world where all this. That's why sometimes, have anyone heard there is a name called Pagal Baba in Vrindavan? He's very well known. Hmm. Yeah, no one heard. It's fine, but can someone be called as Pagal? Yeah, when one is in the dham, we can see how they have dedicated their life, how they are living with not big luxuries. And why? Because they could dive deeper than what we are seeing in the dham. When we go to Vrindavan, we may see nice uh, cars, apartments, buildings, hotels, street foods. Why not? We see as if like, hey, it looks like maybe in another Delhi or another Mumbai or another Indore or whatever, where there's all time food, day and night. And no, the dham is hidden. The real dham is hidden. One has to break through such a covering, and that is possible only by hearing. When one hears to Harikatha, when one hears the glories of Vrindavan, when one understands Vrindavan is a Nitya Dham, it's not like, okay, that Vrindavan, oh, once upon a time when Krishna was there, it flourished. After that, there is nothing. No, it's not like that. Krishna is still doing his leelas. It's our incapacity that we can't see them. So we hear from acharyas, we hear to our guru. Yeah, they're not just acharyas. Sometimes what may happen is we may have built the bhav, but we do not have the power to see the dham. Bhav itself is not enough. We need also the Sukriti, the blessings of the Acharyas, of the spiritual master. May he open us, grant us the entry to the Dham, and then we can see the Dham. And then we are here, it's saying the predominating, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto that direction where the Lord is there. So the Lord is not just perceived in the form of Brahman or in Paramatma, Bhagavan. Yeah, yeah. Krishna was literally doing so many leelas in Vrindavan, which means it's not just an imagination or artistic, what do you call this? People who have artistic mind, they can imagine something and they can draw it. Oh, that is in fact, in the end, it's only his thought or his way of think. No, Vrindavan Dham is real. It is eternal. The Lord is eternal. He has a form that is eternal. In fact, the purport says, for example, this dham. In fact, in India, one may still go to Vrindavan and similar places to achieve the results of spiritual activities quickly. Tesham avira bhudvani arupa mega anishvana sannadayanti kakubaha sadhu nam abhayankari. Then there appeared before them a transcendental sound vibration emanating. This Megha Nisvana means Megha resounding like the sound of cloud. Megha is sound. uh, and Sannadayanti causing to vibrate. And Kakubaha, I mean, Kakuba is also there's a word in Russian language, but in Sanskrit, Kakuba in all directions. Hmm? Sadhunam of saintly persons, Abhayankari driving away the fearful situation. The Lord is when where there is Lord, there is no fear. Ma and in sound that was vibrating like cloud, the Lord, this sound vibration came from that direction, which says, Ma bhaishta vibudha shrestha. Don't fear. Sarvesham bhadramastuva. Everywhere there is bhadram, protection, and also auspiciousness. Mad darshanam hi bhutanam sarva shreyopapattaye. By having my darshanam itself is enough. All the bhutan, all the beings, sarvopapattaye is Sarva Shreya is all good fortune. Upapattaye means for attainment, that's enough. Gnatam etasya dauratmyam uh, daite yapa sadasya yat tasya shantim karishyami kalam tavat pratikshata. Don't worry. May all good fortune be on you. This is what he's saying. I know that all the thing about activities of Hiranyakashipu and shall surely stop them very soon. But he said, Kalam tavat pratikshata. The Lord is saying, come on, there is time. One has to respect the time. There are good times, bad times. One has to understand and then deal. Of course, a devotee. Sometimes, yeah, here the Lord is telling to the predominating deities or the followers who are struggling. But the Lord is saying, okay, in fact, please wait patiently until that time comes. Um, so, in the purpose, contrary to the laws of material world, there is no difference between seeing the Lord, offering prayers, and hearing the transcendental vibration. Pure devotees, therefore, are fully satisfied by glorifying the Lord. Such glorification is called kirtan. Performing kirtan and hearing the vibration of the sound Hare Krishna is actually seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must realize this position, and then one will be able to understand the absolute nature of Lord's activities. Yada deveshu, when the time will come, the Lord is also telling, Yada deveshu vedeshu goshu viprashu tadushu dharme mai cha vidveshaha sava ashu vinasyati. Finish. The time of destruction, the muhurta is also said, the moment when yada deveshu means the demigods, vedeshu, unto the Vedic scriptures, goshu unto the cows, vipreshu, brahmanas, sadhushu unto saintly persons, dharme maicha vidvesha. He's saying when one is envious of demigods who represent the supreme lord of the Vedas, which gives all knowledge of cows, brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and religious principles, and ultimately of me, means dvesha is so mm, such a great destructor, that one may not know, but this dvesha can uproot our all good fortune and end us up in the deepest of hells. That's why he's saying, Yada hi Yada Yada deveshu vedeshu goshu viprashu sadhushu dharme mai cha vidveshaha sava astu vinashati. And then such a person who is against all these things, who doesn't like them, then finish. And he and his civilization will be vanquished without delay. And then he says, Nirvairaya prashantaya swasutaya mahatmane prahladaya yada druhyet dhanishepi varorjitam. Vara urjitam means blessed by the boon of Lord Brahma. Even thus, blessings will not work. When he is chastising his own son, when Hiranyakashipu teases his son Prahlad Maharaj, uh, who is he? Very, very sober, Prashantaya, very sober and peaceful. Swasutaya, his own son, who is a Mahatmane, who is a great devotee, by name Prahlada. Prahlada, when you have this of Prahlad Maharaj, Yada Druhyet means will commit violence. Hanishye, I shall kill. Hana means to kill. Hanishye api vara urjita. Even if he has the boon from Brahma, no, that is crossing the limit. Purport Prabhupada says this is very, very important. If you want to make a note, you can make a note. 7, 4, 28. What is 7 times 4? 28. 7, 4, 28 is so important shloka which tells of all sinful activities, an offense to a pure devotee or Vaishnava is most severe. An offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava is so disastrous that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has compared it to a mad elephant that enters a garden and causes great havoc by uprooting many plants and trees. If one is an offender at the lotus feet of a Brahmana or a Vaishnava, his offenses uproot all his auspicious activities. One should therefore very carefully guard against committing Vaishnava aparadha or offenses at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Here, the Lord clearly says that although Hiranyakashipu has had received benedictions from Lord Brahma, these benedictions would be null and void as soon as he committed an offense at the lotus feet of Prahlad Maharaj, his own son. A Vaishnava like Prahlad Maharaj is described herein as Nirvaira, having no enemy. Ajata, Shatrava, Shanta, Sadhava, Sadhubhushana. These are the six qualities, of Vaishnava ornaments. It is in 325:21. A devotee does not create enmity with anyone, but if someone becomes his enemy, that person will be vanquished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead despite whatever benedictions he may have received from other sources. Uh, then, Shri Naraduvacha iti yukta loka guruna tam pranamya divaukasaha nyavartanta gatodvega menire chasuram hatam. The great saint Narada Muni continued, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the spiritual master of everyone, thus reassured all the demigods living in the heavenly planets, they offered their respectful obeisances unto him and returned confident that the demon Hiranyakashipu was now practically dead. Even though he was not dead, but hearing to the Lord, there is a solution. They felt very relieved because the words of Lord are absolute truth. When Lord says, it will happen. तस्य दैत्यापतेः पुत्राः चत्वारः परमाद्भुतः प्रह्लादो भून्महान् तेषां गुणैर्महद् उपासकः. Hiranyakashipu had four wonderful sons, wonderful, well qualified sons, of whom the one named Prahlada was the best. Indeed, Prahlada was a reservoir of all transcendental qualities because he was an unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead. Huh? What is so great about Prahlad Maharaj? In the verse 132, it is said, Brahmanya Shila Sampannaha Satyasanto Jitendriyaha Atmat Sarva Bhutanam Eka Priya Suhrittamaha Dasavat Sannaya Taryangrihi Pitravad Dina Vatsalaha Bhratritvat Sadrase Snigdo Gurushva Ishvara Bhavanaha Vidyartha Rupa Janmadyo Manastamba Vivarjitaha. These are wonderful qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Hmm? He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, huh? Cultured like a Brahmana, though he's born in Kshatriya family, is cultured like a Brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind. Like the super soul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectful persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and old god brothers to be as good as the supreme personality of Godhead. He was completely free from unnatural pride that might have arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. Very important, at least I like here, is mentioned about Prahlad Maharaj. If we can follow in his footsteps, how he is dealing with various kinds of people, we are also having various people, various situations, and by following him, we become successful. In fact, here he says that, and he considered his teachers. This is first word, teachers, spiritual master, and as a supreme personality of Godhead. Yeah, you're getting this point here highlights that one may say, okay, so and so is a Shiksha Guru, yeah, who is as good as supreme personality of Godhead. No, in this purport, it is also mentioned, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Please go. కూర్చో. Huh? So it's very special, isn't it? That one cannot take it easy. If someone is a senior god brother, one should give due respect. It's not like, okay, only Shiksha Guru is qualified to get all the respect and all the attention, value, service. Huh? No, here it is mentioned about the teachers, spiritual masters, older god brothers, uh, as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions that there are these qualities of a Brahmana is samo dama tapas saucham shantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam ashiktah brahma karma swabhavajam. Brahma karma. So these are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. Yeah? These qualities are manifest in the body of Vaishnava. Therefore, a perfect Vaishnava is also a perfect Brahmana. As indicated here by the words Brahmanya Shila Sampanna, a Vaishnava is always determined to understand the absolute truth. And to understand the absolute truth, one needs to have full control over his senses and mind. Prahlad Maharaj possessed all these qualities. A Vaishnava is always a well wisher to everyone. The six Goswamis, for example, are described in this way. Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo. Mm, uh, so, in this way, we can understand the last part of this 32nd verse, the purport. The word Guru refers to the spiritual master who initiates his disciple into advancement in the science of Krishna consciousness, as stated by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sri Sri Bhagavan Mantropadeshake Guru Guru iti artha. What is the meaning of Guru means? Sri Bhagavan Mantropadeshake. One who is giving the holy name to a person, he is the Guru. He is as per Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. What is time? 9. 9 2. Okay. So we'll go to 2 verse more. नोद्विग्न चित्तो व्यसनेन निःस्पृहा श्रुतेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेष्वस्तु दृक् दान्त्रेन्द्रिय प्राणशरीरधि सदा प्रशान्तकामो रहितासुरोऽसुरः. Although Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of Asuras, Asuro Suraha, he himself was not an Asura but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. So that's why in this verse, in the end, it is mentioned Prashanta Kamo Rahita Asura Asuraha. So, though he is an Asura, but he was not an Asura. Unlike the other Asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put into danger, and he was neither directly or indirectly interested in the fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless, and therefore he was completely devoid of material desires. He always controlled his senses and life air, and being of steady intelligence and determination, he subdued all lusty desires. Purport. From this verse, we discover that a man is not qualified or disqualified simply by birth. We can see Prahlad Maharaj is an Asura, or born in Asura family. He is not an Asura. Prahlada was an Asura by birth, yet he possessed all the qualities of perfect Brahmana. Brahmanya Shila Sampannaha. Anyone can become fully qualified Brahmana under the direction of a spiritual master. Prahlad Maharaj provided a vivid example of how to think of spiritual master and accept his directions calmly. यस्मिन् महद्गुणाराजन् गृह्यन्ते कविभिर्मुहुः न ते धुना पिता पिधि विधीयन्ते यथा भगवतीश्वरे. O king, who is telling all this to? Narad Muni is telling to Yudhishthir Maharaj, is saying, oh, King Prahlad Maharaj, good qualities are still glorified by learned saints and Vaishnavas. As all good qualities are always found existing in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they also exist forever in his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Hmm. Yeah, 34. I think we have 64, 66. I'm not wrong. Okay, maybe then we cover this part tomorrow. Yeah. So, where are we now? I don't know. Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah. Can you make a note? I think it is 34 or
34 we read Prabhuji just.
34 we read. Okay. Yeah. Then maybe you can make a note from 35 then. Good. Thank you very much for joining and really sorry for the late. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेम. हरे कृष्ण.